I saw a lot of these videos talking about hexing like the moon and the sun or whatever the other day, and it kind of made me think about spells and witchcraft and just kind of the dangers behind it all, if you will. So I'm not really gonna conclude that like witchcraft is like evil or whatever. That all deals with like intention, like I've talked about in my previous video, with manifestation, intention setting, and attracting abundance. So with that being said, it all deals with karma and just setting your intentions in the right place. Again, you kind of want to come from somewhere sincere, and you want to know, what's best for you. And generally speaking, people just don't really know what's best for them. And so that's why it's best to kind of get some help from your spirit guides. And, just let them kind of do some shadow work with you, guide you on your spiritual journey, teach you the kind of foundations of spell work, and, well, first initially karma and how karma works, because, everything comes back around. Karma's a bitch. I say this all the time. If you're setting bad vibes out into the universe, you're gonna receive bad vibes back. That's just how karma works. And maybe, you don't, see it always right, when you do something. Sometimes you gotta, learn a lot of stuff about the, I guess I won't get it, because it kind of depends on the individual and, what you've done on your path and everything. So I won't get too detailed with that. But karma, it's like the laws of vibration, the laws of attraction. Like, you attract likeness attracts likeness, and the vibe that you put out into the universe, it's the vibe that you're gonna receive back. It's just how the universe works with, the circle of life, karma. So with, spellcraft, it's not necessarily evil. There can be some, evil intentions probably behind it, but, I don't necessarily believe anything is initially purely. No, there's some, I've seen some pretty bad witchcraft out there, but you get what I mean. It's not necessarily the spell, it's the person and the intention behind it. And putting that type of vibration out there, you're gonna kind of, the spells have especially curses, they have a tendency to come back at you and just kind of, attach back to yourself. And, that could be a bitch. It can be a burden and something that you carry on for, the rest of your life and your ancestors. And, you'll subconsciously have that just dwelling over you, and there's nothing you can really do because you have it subconsciously. So you're not going to realize that you have this curse over you that you cast out into the world, and it can cause a lot of pain, depression, agony. And I just, setting the wrong intentions like that and putting that out into the universe, right there is bad karma, So you gotta be careful with the things you mess with. That's just all I'm saying. But as far as, karma's teachings and stuff, I mean, that, it sounds simple enough, but the shadow work that goes along with it, that can get a little complicated to learn, because we dwell on so much subconsciously. We don't realize these things that we dwell on, so they just kind of eat at us without us realizing it. And it makes us hard to learn lessons, no matter how much the universe tries to throw it into our face and teach us. It just doesn't click. So really, like, reaching out, like I say this all the time, like, reach out to your spirit guides and your ancestors and ask them for guidance and help on doing all of this shadow work, so it's a little simpler for you. And you know, a lot of it can be pretty intense too, so keep that in mind too if you want to really, you know, become a good manifester and do good spellcraft. And you know, like I said, it's not necessarily completely evil, so go ahead and do your spells and stuff, but I'm just saying, you know, you put that type of bad energy out there, it's just gonna come back around, because, you know, you may be a really powerful witch or whatever, you know, you may believe, but the universe is pretty fucking infinite and it's pretty strong, and there's a lot of entities out there that aren't really gonna deal with your shit. Just saying. Yeah, to each their own. But yeah, like, I don't know, I know we've seen it, karma. I experienced it the other day. I was watching some fool try to throw some trash out into our neighborhood while I was thinking about karma, actually, and he like tosses his trash out into the street out of his car, and as soon as he does that, he slams the car door and the trash is still lingering inside of the door, and it drives off with him, still attached to his vehicle, wedged up in the door. So, you know, it's just a little thing, but I've seen karma on big scales as well, so there's, you know, there's that too. So you just, I don't know, like, you gotta think about these things and clear out the bad vibes and clear out the bad juju in your head before you just go around casting spells on people. And honestly, the type of spells that I like to mess with are like cleansing spells, like shamanism, rituals, like, you know, healing. I'm an empath. So as far as that, I'm the one, the type to clear people's karma out with spellcraft. So there's like a good side to it, of course, the light side, the light worker, as I call it. And, you know, there's nothing necessarily bad about your dark side or your shadow work. Everyone has a dark side. It's just a part of being a human, to have that part of, you know, the ego mind. But, you know, you gotta tame that ego mind and tame those bad, you know, energies and bad beliefs and self-esteem and, you know, childhood trauma before you can just go around casting spells, because that stuff's just, one, you think you know what you're doing, but you really don't know what you're doing, and everything comes back around. So yeah, be careful with what you mess with, okay? But as far as some of the other dangers, like I briefly talked about this a minute ago, with like your like curses and hexes, that stuff can be really tricky. Now, I don't know too much about all that stuff and clearing it out. There's different methods, like there's, like, you know, the crushing red brick method, there's like candle cleansing spells. I like to use white eggshells when I cleanse my area, when I'm like trying to meditate and send out good vibes and energies. I use white eggshells for cleansing. But then you can like pray to your ancestors, your spirits, your angels, archangels. You can, you know, do all of that to kind of cleanse out too. But I think repetition really helps too, and just wanting to set your intentions to a good place from your heart, you know. and really stick with that, because, you know, it's half spirit and half you, you know? Spirit's gonna guide you, but you also have to have that real intention behind it. So you can, you know, mess around with fire all you want, but you're gonna get burnt. Just think about that. That's really all I wanted to say. I'll probably talk about a couple of other things in the next video. More about some of the stuff that's going to be happening with like Nasir, Gasser, debt relief, stress relief, abundance coming in for everybody in humanity, because I've been doing some pretty powerful like abundance spells for everyone. That was just kind of destiny playing out anyway. But there's going to be some good stuff happening for everybody. I don't know if anybody else feels the energy, but new chapters all around. It's beginning. It just happened the other day. You might, you know, not feel it yet, but it's happening, promise. So just keep these things in mind when you're doing spells, abundance, clarity, shadow work. You want to attract good things and put good energy out into the world. That's all I'm saying. You guys have a good one. Peace.